Hi. If you've reached this video, you might be looking to replace your gear oil cooler on a Nordic Tug or a Cummins engine. I purchased my Nordic Tug approximately 9 months ago, and I've been replacing components as really in a series of replacements just because I don't know the age of a lot of them. This is the port side of a 6BTA Cummins 270 horsepower jacket water after cooled engine. The raw water pump on the lower left feeding the hose going to the fuel cooler, feeding the reduction hose going to the gear oil cooler. You can see the blue high pressure oil lines from the reduction gear attaching there. And so I wanted to replace that. I got about 1% water in my recent oil sample that I had analyzed. Seaboard Marine covers all the parts that are included in this video, with the exception of the wire, which I purchased at West Marine. Here's the new black painted oil cooler. I chose to paint it the same color as my Cummins engine, so I mixed gloss white and gloss almond Rust-Oleum to get the same color. I think I did a pretty good job matching it. I painted another part and you couldn't tell. Here it is painted, ready for assembly. You can notice the zincs on the lower left and right. That's the unique thing. Here's the new tapped out connector for the pressure sender and the gauge from VDO, which is compatible with our Nordic Tugs. That's what all the stuff is. Here is the old one with the high pressure lines removed. I used the caps from the new cooler to plug into the old ports because I knew that would be filled with oil and I didn't want it spilled any more than I had to. This is a picture of the dripless hose shaft, which also attaches to that cooler, and the location of where it intersects to the cooler in the kind of lower back right as you're looking from the port side. Here's the part removed. The hoses were a little bit stiff and stuck to the part, but I managed to get them. And then here's the new part ready to go on. I used Rector Seal True Blue, and there's the hose barb for the dripless shaft. I used the same Rector Seal True Blue for that as well. It goes on the lower right back there. Here it is installed. Everything was very easy to install, with one exception, that being the clamp. You can see it in the middle of the oil cooler. The clamp was actually quite challenging to install. I put on the hose barb so that I just had to fix the new or the dripless shaft setting. This is the bolt that holds that clamp I was just referring to. It needs to obviously go in perpendicular to the base. It's a threaded base, and so it's one bolt. There's no nut or washer on the back of it. It just screws right in. But the compression force needed to get that clamp down and get the bolt in was tough. So at this point, the only thing remaining was putting on those high pressure lines and the dripless shaft hose. Forgot to take a picture, sorry, of the actual final assembly, but I think you can picture it. It doesn't look anything different. The routing of the wires helped me by removing the panel right below my wheel. It gave me access to all the wire assembly behind the, that's running up to the gauges, and it was easy to route the wire. From the bathroom, you can remove a hatch and see the false cover for the VDO gauge. That's the three plastic pieces there. There it is removed. And then that's ready for the gauge to be put in. I bought about 20 feet of wire. Didn't waste a lot of it, but it's pretty inexpensive. This part, I also replaced all the wire ties in the bundle, primarily heading from the engine up to the feed for behind the steering wheel. So I wanted to just have new wire ties in that whole thing and put the new duplex wire in. Here's a picture of the new gauge installed. I tapped power and ground from a nearby switch that had extra room on it. And then from the midpoint of the left side, you can see the sender duplex wire heading up to the gauge. And I grounded it at the gauge instead of at the engine, but I could have grounded it at the engine. There's just a sensor input. This is a photo of the thing in neutral, and then here's one in gear. Both dead slow. Here's a video of that. I'm in gear at 600 RPMs, dead slow.
I'm in gear.
And then when you'll see me go into neutral,
Now I'm taking it out
you'll
of
see
gear.
the pressure drop to about 40 if that point is 50 on the meter. I can't really tell what it's at, but
So it looks like
I
it's
think the point being that it'll be easy to see if you're losing pressure when you're in gear,
back in gear.
and if you got no pressure out of gear. So here I'm
Dead
back
slow.
in gear, dead slow, and you see it ramp to about 360-ish PSI. Thanks for watching.